battle for civil rights is a family affair, as they would sing for a New York City couple. Norman and Velma Hill at the forefront of the fight since the 1960s, working with icons like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, and more recently collaborating with Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. We do thank you for sticking with us, especially for this amazing story and interview. I'm Candace Gibson.
And I'm Shirley Chan in for Aaron E. today. Now, that quest continues today. Civil rights activist Norman Hill joining us now to talk about his incredible work. It is an honor to meet you. We thank you for being in studio with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, so first of all, tell us, what can you tell us about your life growing up?
Well, shortly after I got out of the Army, having been drafted for 2 years, I went to a youth conference where I heard my mentor, Bayard Rustin, speak for the first time. I was impressed by his eloquence, militancy, charisma, and analytical ability. He took some of us who were at the youth conference to meet the great leader of the civil rights and labor movement, A. Philip Randolph. I heard them talk about organizing a youth march for integrated schools in the fall of 1958.
Wow.
I then went to Chicago, where I heard Bayard speak again, and I asked him, what can I do to help?
And how old were you when this happened?
I was 26 years old.
Well, so still very much a young man.
That's right.
You know, I'm curious about the March in Washington. I was looking at this photo here, and I was asking you in the commercial break, where are you in that photo? You're like, I'm up on the stage. But an interesting thing you mentioned to me that I never knew about, you said MLK, for the most part, ad-libbed the I Have a Dream speech, and he had actually done that speech before.
He had done it once before in the city of Detroit, Michigan. And it was almost word for word, with maybe 1 or 2 sentences left out.
Interesting.
I want to talk to you about something that happened here locally. You and Velma were both arrested during the campaign to desegregate schools in Englewood, New Jersey. Was that the only time you were arrested while fighting for the cause, or were there other experiences?
That was the only time we were arrested. There were other campaigns and demonstrations that we were a part of, but that was the time that we were arrested in fighting to desegregate the public schools of Englewood, New Jersey.
What worries you? Do you worry of another Trump presidency or another Biden term?
Well, we are concerned that the stakes for this coming election are as serious as ever before, because what's at stake is the preservation and maintenance of democracy. The civil rights movement was an integral part of the fight to extend democracy.
Yeah.
It was fought democratically, and
you think that's what's on the line at the ballot come this November?
I think that's what's on the line.
Okay.
Because we are confronted by a right wing that in fact wants to take our rights away, turn the clock back, and in fact seize control of the key and top office of the United States, the presidency.
I hear you, and it sounds like you're saying the fight continues.
Yeah.
It does indeed.
Now, your activism really turned into so much more because it became a love story for you and your wife. Tell us a little bit more about what that meant to your relationship.
Well, I met my wife, who was introduced to me by my young brother, on a picket line in front of Woolworth store in Chicago, where we were supporting the struggle of Southern students to integrate the lunch counters of Woolworths. She invited me to dinner, which I readily
Did you pick
accepted.
up the tab?
It was at our house, where I actually met her mother, who did the cooking.
Can I ask you about that? Because you guys actually wrote a memoir. It's called Climbing the Rough Side of the Mountain. Give me a sense of what that means.
What climbing the rough side of the mountain is an old Negro spiritual. And climbing the rough side of the mountain, in contrast to trying to climb the smooth side of the mountain, where there is nothing to hold on to. But we believe that the branches on the rough side of the mountain, which are the principles of our mentors, A. Philip Randolph and Byron Rustin, enable us to make strides and climb toward racial equality and economic justice.
I understand. All right. Thank you so much for being here and
Yeah.
for all that you've done for so many of us over the years.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. And for more information on Norman and Velma, or to purchase their book, Climbing the Rough Side of the Mountain, check out their Instagram page. I like that you have Instagram. I'm sure you have a TikTok dancing videos as well. And the information is right there on your screen.